color theory and Kanye West. Two topics I never thought I'd be fucking talking about, but that's what Kanye forces us to talk about, is color theory. And color theory because of the stickers on albums. Like, it's absurd. And it may seem absurd to be reading into the color of the sticker on the album. I know. I don't want to be doing it. But there's enough evidence that's been built up to make an argument that there is meaning behind the purple sticker. And I'm so sorry that that is a thing that I have to talk about, but here we are talking about it. And you know, when the album comes out in 2 days, 3 days, I might be proven wrong, or you'll remember that I was right. So let's get into why there might be meaning to the purple sticker and what that meaning might be, especially in contrast to the red sticker used on Yeezus. Just a bit of refresher on color theory. And this is a word to keep in mind, chakra. Color theory is usually something that just in art is talked about in terms of, you know, the relationship between colors. But there's also the idea of the inherent emotional connotation and charge those colors have, right? Blue can often be associated with being serene or with depression. Red with anger or passion, love or hate, all kinds of different things. And we know that in movies they get used, TV shows, just art in general, emojis, but there's also some spiritual meanings and connotations to it. So this is just some weird website, Universe of Symbolism. Mostly the general ideas behind the colors are the same no matter what website you go to. It's just the descriptions of them will vary depending on which site you want to go to and how dramatically spiritual they get with it or how grounded they stay with it. So this is just the one that I'm using. But let's look at red and violet, as those are the two colors that we're dealing with here. Red. The color red is vibrant and full of life. It has a range of meanings from love and passion to fiery anger. It excites and energizes. Red is the color of fire and power. Red holds symbolic meaning of all things intense and passionate. Red is the color of the first or base chakra to strengthen your passions, yada, yada, yada. Now let's go down to violet. Violet is symbolic of the fulfillment and healing, of mind, body, and spirit. Higher cosmic consciousness. Violet represents deep awareness of being and the universe, as well as spirituality reaching a gateway to spirit. Violet is the color of the 7th or crown chakra to open a connection to spirit. Does that sound like anything that Kanye has been talking about? Maybe a little. Maybe just a little. If we go back to his Twitter, we know that he's been talking about we're creating a film called Spiritual Telephone, love is serving others, yoga, dance, meditation, sending good energy, sending positive energy, highlighting positive words, negative words, willing universal power, manifesting world peace. And then we can see that he's been highlighting these positive words. Again, will universal power, manifest world peace. We are divine. And then he gets into this conversation with this guy, Ryder, where after Kanye had tweeted, we don't need to ever be excited. We need to just be. Remember, red is the color for energy and excitement and anger and passion. So essentially Kanye is saying we never need to have that red energy. And even going back to Yeezus, people talk about how Yeezus is this very aggressive album, from the lyrics to the soundscape. Just look at New Slaves. Like, that's such an aggressive track. And I don't think Kanye necessarily picked out the tape red then because he's just like, oh, color theory, and this is what this means. But I wouldn't put it past Kanye to pick it out for that reason, or just to feel it was right. And being aware of these things now and being more aware of what colors represent and the spirituality of them, picking purple in direct contrast to that. I mean, it could just be complete coincidence that he says we don't ever need to be excited, has this conversation with Ryder, where Ryder tries to make the case that excitement and manipulation can be positive, where Kanye says, you know, we're less clear and easier to manipulate when excited, be calm always, and even getting to what his friend Jared here says, if I may, eagerness is rooted in fear. It exists in a space between desire and acceptance. And we know that Kanye had been talking a lot about not acting out of fear, not being controlled by fear, acting out of like love and confidence and needing to be in that mindset. So Kanye seems to have been on this level of getting away from high energy. We know he's been describing his bipolar mania as being ramped up, and he's been trying to control being ramped up, keeping himself much more quiet and meditative. Right after this conversation, where he's talking about all these things with energy and being divine, and this conversation about staying calm, we get Yandhi and the announcement of that. Again, could be complete coincidence, but it seems that these things have been on his mind and that he's been having this idea of Yandhi, Gandhi. Ye plus Gandhi, we get Yandhi. Gandhi was all about world peace. He was very spiritual, was a Hindu. Chakras are part of the Hindu religion and culture. And then what did Kanye just post on Instagram a little bit ago? This very crude drawing that almost makes no fucking sense. But you see these circles going down the body, connecting the crown to the groin. Fucking chakras. This is like the most generic thing for chakras. They're always kind of shown as these points of energy in the body, from the crown to the eye, to the throat, to the heart, and down and down. And you can see picture after picture shows them stacked on top of one another in relation to the human body. Just over and over and over. So we see Kanye drew that with no comment, and then posted a second drawing of a person with the same chakra circles, but what seems to be energy or light pouring out. I mean, chakras are considered energy points, so you'd imagine that this would be the release of energy. And he put in all caps, alpha being, which to me seems to be somebody that has their like chakras aligned, is in this positive state and putting out this positive energy. They're on this alpha level, this ultra light beaming level.